Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the month of September 2020 and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the zodiac. The first card is going to be from the Robin Wood Tarot, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with this month. And the second card will be from the Primrose and Prose Oracle deck, and that'll give some advice on how to deal with the month. So you can go ahead and watch the whole video or skip ahead to the cards that are pulled for your sign. If you do jump ahead, make sure you also jump to the very end because I'm going to be pulling a card from my favorite manifestation deck, the Super Attractor, to give us something to hold on to carry in ourselves over the coming month. So since it is Virgo season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Virgos. Virgo, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Tower. So, bit of an intimidating card for your monthly theme this month. A lot of change, a lot of deconstruction, not necessarily destruction, but deconstruction. Breaking things down, breaking down walls and barriers and things that have been holding you back or blocking you from achieving your highest form of evolution right now. You're being allowed to make serious leaps of growth over this next month, but it does come with a sense of almost of panic because of the chaos and the feeling of losing what you have built, losing what is familiar. The important thing is to try and trust that this is for your greatest good. The oracle card that comes along this month is Preserve. So it kind of opposite messages the Tower. The Tower is release and breaking down, and Preserve says, pay attention to what you are still holding on to. Pay attention to what needs preserving, what needs to be carried with you as you move throughout these shifts. Recognize that not everything is leaving you. You are not shedding every single aspect of who you are and who you have been. You are shedding your skin. You're shedding your outer layer. You are moving forward. You're not leaving everything behind necessarily. So Preserve comes up to say, you're not leaving it all behind. Pay attention to what is following you, to who is staying with you as you move through all of these changes. Virgo, you can do this. Libra, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the 7 of Swords. So there's some conflict for you over this coming month of wondering if what you are doing is following your highest good or following what is your truth. There is questioning as to whether or not your behavior lines up with the person that you identify as, the person you want to identify as. 7 of Swords, there's something about like stealthiness or dishonesty or keeping things a little bit covered up, but almost a level of feeling like you're not being honest about yourself as you are doing this. There might be a sort of necessity as you are moving forward throughout this month to be a little bit more subdued or withdrawn or less upfront about what you're doing and what's going on within yourself. And that feels almost like you are holding yourself back from true and honest expression. So there's some inner turmoil for you with this coming in this September for you, Libra. Your oracle card is Paired. So with this one, it's a reassurance that you're not alone and a reminder to reach out to the people that matter most to you, the people who are in your closest circle. If you feel like you really can't express yourself to the world at large, that's okay. You can totally wear a mask for the general perception of who you are, but when it comes to these people represented in the Paired card, your partners, the very closest people that reflect your inner heart, you don't have to wear that mask for them. You can be yourself. You still have opportunities to be open and honest and upfront about your feelings. It just might not be able to be all the time. So Libra, this is a good exercise for you, especially in balance, in putting out what the world needs from you, and also giving yourself time to be who you need from you. Scorpio, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Lovers reversed. So there's some frustration for you, Scorpio, this month, especially where connections with other people are concerned. Things don't really seem to be going much further than the surface right now, and that's hard for you. You want to be able to go deeper. You want to be making a real connection with someone, making, those intense connections, not necessarily emotional, because that can be intimidating, but feeling like you belong with other people, feeling intimately or intensely or spiritually entwined with the people in your life. And this month, because of this reversal, not just romantic connections, but almost everyone in your life, it feels like there's only kind of a surface level attachment right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Gemini. So you're being advised to, in one way, you're being advised to appreciate your own company. But in other senses, it's almost like you're being asked to try and look at things from another point of view or from the other person's perspective. If you're having a hard time connecting with people, it could be more than just you. It could be the other person is having a hard time connecting as well. It could be a whole number of things going on in the world that are completely outside of your control and outside of other people's control. So you're being asked to analyze and look at things from all angles and think about things a lot rather than acting from emotional impulse. So Scorpio, this might be a challenging month for you, trying to pull yourself deeper into emotional connection, but having a hard time with that. So try to take a half step back and see things from all angles before making any sort of impulsive emotional decisions. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Knight of Cups reversed. So there may be some slightly uncomfortable emotional awareness over this coming month. There's a sense of not a lot of active movement, but more of awareness going into yourself, recognizing your feelings, your emotional self, seeing your emotional needs and whether or not they're being met. And if they're not being met, in that case, it might be a little more uncomfortable because you're not at a point of actively knowing how to communicate your needs or express your needs. Like I said, this is a lot more awareness than action. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is Flight, which Sagittarius, this actually helps to balance that potential feeling of being stuck in your feelings, unable to act on them, or unsure of what to do. Flight comes in and says, if you are in a situation that has you stuck, that has nothing to give you, nothing to learn, nothing to grow through or move through or grow from, no benefit, nothing. And this isn't like, oh, it's not benefiting me right now. This is if things are done, if the connection is fizzled, if the situation is totally stagnant and starting to go bad, this Flight card says, get out. You don't need to stick around and try and reinforce your needs to people who aren't going to listen. If it feels like you don't know what to say because there's nothing that you can say to change the situation, then it may be better to exit the situation entirely. So if you start to feel stuck or stagnant, look around and see if there's anything left for you here, or if it's just time to move on. Capricorn, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Five of Wands reversed. And this allows things to move forward a lot more freely, with a lot less miscommunication than there might have been over the last couple of weeks. The Five of Wands reversed allows blocked energy channels to start to move again. And when it comes to other people, there's a sense of people listening and being willing to see things from your point of view. So there's a bit of a relaxed energy coming for you this month, Capricorn, and it's a relief. It feels like a lot of pressure and like argumentativeness just easing up, and conflict is a lot less prevalent for you over this coming month. Now, the oracle card that comes along is Virgo. So even though things are moving smoothly or more smoothly, you are still being advised to pay close attention to all the fine details, read the fine print, make sure you're not getting into any agreements that you don't actually want to get into with. That comes along with this reversed Five of Wands as well. If you're making agreements, you're seeing them through. So paired with this Virgo card, you want to make sure that you're not getting yourself into anything that doesn't line up with your goals or your truth or your highest self. So read the fine print, pay attention to all the details, watch where you're going. Things are moving a lot more easily, and that means that they're moving more smoothly, probably a bit more quickly. So watch the steps that you're taking and make sure that you're watching out for any bumps in the road or anything that might be trying to trip you up. Aquarius, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Tower reversed. So there is a bit of hesitation on your end this month. There might be opportunities to move and change and let go of things, but there's a feeling of not being ready, maybe not being willing. Letting go of what is familiar and comfortable is really intimidating. So it makes sense to not want to do that all the time. And when it feels like there's pressure to do so from outside forces, you might get a little bit stubborn and dig your heels in and say, no, this is what I signed up for and this is where I'm staying. The Tower is reversed, so it doesn't say get out, get out, get out, but it's probably, the situation is probably coming to an end. So do be mindful of that while you are resisting this end. The oracle card that comes along this month for you, Aquarius, is Solace. And the Solace card, it says to give yourself peace. Give yourself a sense of comfort. When you are in a state of panic, try to go into yourself and find that, the calm in the storm, the eye of the storm. Go into your deepest center where there is peace, there is calm. Everything else can be turmoil. But for that moment, allow yourself to have peace and comfort. And remind yourself, this Solace card comes up to remind you that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But because of this reversed Tower, you may need to be encouraging yourself to take steps towards that light rather than staying where you are right now. So this Solace card and the comfort that you can provide yourself, that you can take solace over this coming month in what you do have, in what isn't changing or what is evolving in positive ways. There are things to take solace in. You don't need to totally focus on holding on so tight to what is maybe coming up to the point of leaving. Pisces, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Knight of Swords reversed. So, doubt is on the rise, anxiety is rearing its ugly head. Your mind is your own worst enemy this month, Pisces. Every step forward that you do take is hindered by doubt or questions as to whether this is the right step. Am I doing the right thing? Is this really leading me to where I want to go? Do I even want to go there? There's so many questions. There's so much going on in your head that you're not able to focus on what is going on around you or in the other areas of yourself, your mental self is completely like trying to take charge, but without a clear direction and without listening to your emotional, your spiritual selves. So there is some frustrating imbalance, and it probably will feel, Pisces, like you're kind of running in circles. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is ebullient. And the advice of this is to look for the joy as much as you can, especially while you were in the middle of your stress and your panic and the absolute, the worst stuff going on up in here. Look for the things that sparkle and bubble and bring you just that little bit of giggly joy. And don't be afraid or embarrassed to giggle, to find joy in little silly things, to appreciate what sparkles, what glitters. It's about the little things this month, Pisces. The big things are too much. So turn your focus onto the little things. This can mean breaking it down into pieces that you can actually swallow, or just totally readjusting your focus onto the little pleasures, the simple joys. But, put a little sparkle in your life, Pisces. Aries, your tarot card for the month of September 2020, is the Three of Wands. And this is excellent. Over this next month, a lot of what you have been working towards and what you have been waiting for, especially developments that you set in motion, way back when, that you've been hoping to see grow, things are starting to come to you. Things are starting to move forward, and because of this, you are able to actively channel and utilize all of the energy that has been building and stockpiling in yourself over these last few months. You're able to direct your focus and start taking actual steps forward. This is having the tools and abilities to continue to achieve your goals. Now, parts of your goals are coming to you, but it's probably not all of it, not all at once, but you're being given the ability to continue to manifest and continue this manifestation progress. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is the Taurus card. So you are being invited to appreciate these things that are coming into your life. Really recognize the value of the work that you have done and the reward that is coming to you because of it. Validate yourself, validate what you have done, and indulge. Treat yourself a little bit. Give yourself a moment to actually appreciate the world that you live in, the environment that you are a part of, your space. Relax. Do something that makes you happy. The Taurus card a lot of the time is about ownership and value, and sometimes about indulgence, shopping, eating, sleeping, just doing the things that make you feel good. So reward yourself, especially if this is something that you have been waiting for so long. As it starts to come to you, really appreciate that and allow yourself to fully appreciate that. Aries, you are getting what you have worked for. You are getting what you have waited for. So appreciate it. Taurus, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the High Priestess. So this month, there is a lot of heightened intuition, knowledge, understanding, not necessarily knowing why you know things, but you know things. So trust that. Listen to your inner self, because your inner self has a lot of good things to pass on to you this month. There is a sense of patience with this card as well. The High Priestess is sometimes notoriously passive or receptive. She doesn't force things. She doesn't go out and make things happen. This is about allowing things to come to you. So there's not necessarily a lot of driven, active energy over this month for you, but a lot of receptive, a lot of energy coming to you, energy filling you up, understanding what other people are going through and where they're coming from. You have a lot of compassion right now, and there is almost a sense of sitting back and just letting life come to you over this month. Now, the oracle card that you get, Taurus, is the Gemini card. So you are invited to use your imagination to its absolute wildest degree. Let your mind run away a little bit. The High Priestess brings intuition and messages that you might not understand until you understand them. So with Gemini, there's a lot of mental activity, and you're being invited to follow the threads of thought. Now, try not to run in circles with them, because that tends to just create anxiety. But follow the threads and pay attention. Pay attention to your thought patterns right now and what is going on in your head. And with Gemini, there is also a sense of, being the twins, seeing yourself reflected in other people. So that may help with seeing where they are coming from and more deeply understanding the people in your life. Gemini, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Lovers. So there is some deeper emotional connection over this next month. This could be the beginning of relationships for you, or deepening of relationships for you, intensifying emotional connections. But it can also mean, on a simpler or more general level, that you are allowing yourself to be more open with other people in your life, and open to new people, open to new connections, and more receptive, more communicative, more willing to connect and allow things to move both ways, not just in having people come to you or going to them, but meeting someone halfway and going to them while they go to you. There's not so much the back and forth. It's like things are falling into a sense of equal balance, equilibrium, being able to, you're able to stand on your own 2 feet, but sometimes it's nice to be able to lean on somebody else. So there is probably going to be some opportunity to build more sturdy connections, or to deepen the connections that you already have this month. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is impending. So you are advised to not just stay still, recognize what is moving that you don't have control over, so that you can either move with it, dodge it, allow it to happen, or be out of the way so that it can happen without impacting you too badly. Now, in relation to the Lovers card, this can simply be saying there is intensity coming for you. Get ready. The impending connection. And on a more general level, it's energy. It's things being thrown your way. So you're being told to watch out, pay attention to the path ahead. Again, with the Lovers card, it can be, it could be a little bit distracting. These emotional connections can be so fulfilling that we forget that other areas of our life exist. So the impending card says, watch out for that. Don't fall so in love that you are forgetting about the rest of your life. Watch out for this impending energy. Cancer, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is Temperance. So there is a sense of peaceful but intense, deepened connection with yourself. Not so much with other people, but with yourself, with your deepest and highest self. You are connecting to your emotional self and recognizing what your emotional needs are, whether or not they're being met, how you can meet them yourself, or how you can ask other people to help you achieve those needs. And you're connecting to your spiritual self and recognizing what you need there, where you are growing, where you might be a little bit stuck, or where there needs to be change. So really, this is an excellent energy for you over this next month, Cancer. There is a feeling of trusting yourself because you're connected to your inner and highest self. there's no question about whether or not you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because you know that you're doing the right thing for you. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month is Ebullient. And Cancer, you are being advised to look at the joy. You have all of these good things in your life, and this might be a bit more of a spiritually intense month for you, focusing on your inner self. So you are reminded to take a break and look at the fun little things that bring you simple joy and simple pleasure, and just lighten life a little bit. This, because of, even though there is a gentleness to the Temperance energy, it can be intense. It can feel heavy or overwhelming. So the Ebullient card comes up to say, take a break and let a little bit, just a piece, just a little bit off of your shoulders, so it's not all so heavy right now. And balance out this intensity and this growth and this inner work on appreciating the little things that you have. Leo, your tarot card for the month of September 2020 is the Eight of Pentacles. So there is hard but steady work over this month, working on yourself or projects or just literal work. Your nose is to the grindstone, Leo, and you are being incredibly productive. Eight of Pentacles says production and skill and talent, and putting your skill to work in order to manifest and produce something of value to yourself, to other people, to the world in general. You are providing. You are doing something to provide. Now, this can be a demanding card. It can feel like this is saying work, 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 no break. But make sure that you aren't working yourself to death, Leo. You know, you want the recognition, maybe, that comes with all of this, but it's not worth it if you are totally drained and exhausted. Now, the oracle card that comes along this month for you is Illusion. And over this month, Leo, you are being advised to take a second look and make sure that you are seeing things clearly. You might not be able to see all things at every level all the time. So it might take a couple inspections to see every layer of the item or situation. The Illusion card says that maybe not everything is being presented to you in a direct or honest way. So if you have to, take a second look or have someone else take a second look to make sure that that veil gets lifted. Not everything is as it seems right now. So it's okay to second guess things a little bit, especially as you are working so hard. You want to make sure that you're not working on the wrong thing. At the end of my readings, I like to wrap things up by pulling a card from my favorite motivation or manifestation deck, the Super Attractor. So I've pulled one for everyone who tunes into this video, just to give us an idea of what to carry within ourselves over this month. So the card that I've got says, when I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. When I'm grateful for what I have, I can feel good along the way to what I desire. Now, affirmations can be pretty personal to the individual, so make sure that you consume or digest this in your own way. To me, this is about, if I'm able to express gratitude for what I already have, I'm not miserable as I work towards getting what I don't have yet that I still want. So be grateful, express a little bit of gratitude, recognize what you have versus what you don't. But let me know in the comments down below what this one says to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer a little bit of guidance or clarity as we move through this month. Please like the video if it sang to your soul, and let me know in the comments what stood out to you, what you thought of the cards that were pulled for your sign, what you thought of the Super Attractor card at the very end, what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. Let me know. Also, make sure that you subscribe so that you can stay connected for more of these monthly and weekly forecasts to provide guidance and clarity. You can also follow me on Facebook at Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'll leave a link in the description down below. I post a daily card with just a bit of advice on how we can achieve our own highest good. And that's also the best way to reach me if you ever want to book a reading of your own. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me read for you, and have a wonderful month. Blessed be.